always like to play around and, a little party. He like music.
This is Latest News JA, bringing you the top stories in Jamaica. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for your daily updates. When the heartbreaking news broke that Usain Bolt, the legendary sprinter known worldwide as the fastest man alive, had lost his father, Wellesley Bolt, the world paused.
It's every man for himself, so it's all fun and games, man. All fun and games.
He learned that you can to accept losses.
Okay.
It's not all about winning each time.
I like the support and love what I get. So I'm just say continue supporting, continue showing us love. There's no say, I appreciate it.
For many, it felt as if they had lost someone they knew personally, even if they had never met him. The impact was immense, yet few truly understood the depth of the emotional and private battle behind the scenes. While the headlines briefly mentioned the passing of Usain's father after a prolonged illness at the age of 68, what went unnoticed was how deeply this loss resonated with Usain. The world knew Usain Bolt for his unbeatable speed, charismatic smile, and vibrant personality. However, beneath that global fame was a son mourning the man who had been the foundation of his entire life and career. The silence behind the public statements spoke louder than words, hinting at a story deeper and far more personal than many had imagined. As fans and media tried to grasp the significance of this moment, it quickly became clear that this wasn't just the passing of an athlete's father. It was the loss of an unsung hero who quietly shaped one of the greatest sports legacies of our time. Stay tuned, because the hidden truths about the man who made Usain Bolt the legend he is today will leave you inspired and deeply moved. While millions cheered Usain Bolt as he sprinted into the history books, very few knew the hardships endured by the quiet man who raised him. Behind Wellesley, Bolt's calm exterior was a lifetime of struggle, challenges he faced silently, day after day without complaint. Wellesley was a farmer by trade, spending relentless hours working under the hot Jamaican sun, cultivating the land to provide for his family. But farming alone wasn't enough. To make ends meet, he took on various odd jobs, never hesitating to sacrifice his own comfort for the well-being of his children. Financial pressure was constant, yet Wellesley carried that burden quietly, shielding his family from any distress. Despite these struggles, Wellesley taught his son invaluable lessons through example. Usain witnessed his father's quiet determination, learning firsthand the meaning of resilience. He saw that greatness wasn't just about talent or speed, it was about enduring challenges with dignity and strength. These early lessons of quiet perseverance became the bedrock of Usain's unstoppable drive and mental toughness. Yet, while the world celebrated Usain's victories, Wellesley remained behind the scenes, quietly enduring hardships that few would ever know. This silent sacrifice shaped the core of Usain's character, preparing him for both victory and adversity in ways fans never fully realized. Stay tuned, because as we uncover more about Wellesley's life, you'll begin to see exactly how his silent struggles created the strongest foundations for Usain Bolt's incredible success. While the world celebrated Usain Bolt's lightning-fast records and charismatic victories, the silent force behind his legendary achievements remained hidden from public view. Wellesley Bolt wasn't just a father supporting from the sidelines. He was the subtle architect of Usain's character, quietly shaping him into the champion the world admires today.
He's more mature, as you grow older, you get more mature, but he's the same jovial person.
From the very start, Wellesley saw beyond Usain's raw speed, recognizing something deeper in his son, a profound potential that needed nurturing through humility and discipline. While Usain trained tirelessly, pushing physical limits, Wellesley provided something equally crucial: emotional grounding. After tough defeats, it was Wellesley's quiet reassurance that rebuilt Usain's confidence, reminding him that true strength came from resilience, not just victories. When Usain's fame exploded, Wellesley's advice remained consistent. Stay humble. Remember your roots. These simple yet powerful words became Usain's compass, keeping him grounded even at the peak of global stardom. Fans marveled at Usain's down-to-earth charm and humility, unaware it was Wellesley's quiet wisdom that guided him. Throughout every victory, every setback, and every record-breaking moment, Wellesley remained his son's strongest supporter, never seeking recognition, content simply knowing he had played a crucial role behind the scenes. But how did Usain navigate the agonizing reality of his father's declining health amidst global fame and relentless public scrutiny?
Now, he hates losing, but I know in 2000, was it 2004, 6, he had the injury.
Keep watching, because the emotional journey that followed would test Usain in ways no race ever could. As Usain Bolt stood atop the world, his father was fighting a battle far away from the cameras, a long and painful illness that slowly began to take its toll. Usain Bolt, the quiet pillar of the Bolt family, faced his final chapter with the same quiet strength he had shown his entire life. But this time, the pain wasn't just physical, it was emotional, especially for Usain. Despite his international schedule, brand commitments, and relentless media attention, Usain made it a priority to be there. Family had always come first, and in his father's final months, he dropped everything to be by Wellesley's side. Friends and insiders close to the family said that Usain was more than just present. He was deeply involved, showing care, compassion, and emotional support during his father's most vulnerable moments. The details of Wellesley's illness were kept private, as the Bolt family chose to shield their patriarch from media intrusion. But behind closed doors, the pain was very real. Watching the man who had always been his rock grow weaker by the day was one of the hardest things Usain had ever experienced. Still, he never wavered, mirroring the same unshakable strength his father had once shown him. This wasn't just a father losing his fight against illness. It was the slow, heartbreaking realization that the man who had helped shape Usain's entire identity was slipping away. And for Usain, that emotional weight was heavier than any finish line he had ever crossed. But when Wellesley finally took his last breath, something extraordinary happened. The world didn't just grieve with Usain. They paid tribute to a man they barely knew, yet suddenly understood had been instrumental in creating a legend. What came next would leave millions in tears. The tributes, the memories, and the emotional messages poured in from around the globe. Stay tuned, because the world's reaction to Wellesley's passing revealed just how deeply his quiet legacy had touched lives far beyond his village. When the news of Usain Bolt's passing broke, the world responded with a tidal wave of emotion. Tributes didn't just come from close friends or family, they came from across the globe, from fellow athletes, celebrities, fans, and even people who had never met him, but felt connected through the legacy he left behind. Social media lit up with messages of love and support for the Bolt family. But the one that hit hardest came from Usain himself. In a tearful post, he wrote, "Dad, I will forever cherish our time together. You were my mentor, my guide, and the strength I leaned on." Simple words, but from a man known for his unstoppable confidence, it was a glimpse into raw, personal heartbreak that resonated with millions. Fellow Olympian Michael Johnson, who had once mentored Usain, paid tribute saying, "Usain Bolt was a rock. His unwavering support helped Usain reach heights many thought were impossible. His legacy lives on through the son he raised." Actor Idris Elba, a longtime friend of the Bolt family, echoed the sentiment. Wellesley was a man of quiet strength. His love for Usain was evident in every word, every look. He will be deeply missed. Even fans who had never met Wellesley posted messages, sharing how inspired they were by the father-son bond. "Behind every great man is a greater story," one user wrote, "and now we see who Usain's true hero was." The tributes painted a picture of a man who never chased the spotlight, but who lit the way for one of the brightest stars in the world. Usain Bolt was more than Usain's father. He was a mentor, a quiet protector, and a symbol of what true strength looks like when no one is watching. But for Usain, grief didn't end with the condolences. It was only just beginning. The emotional weight of the loss would test him in ways no race ever had. In the next chapter, we'll explore how the world's fastest man faced the slow, painful journey through grief, and how his father's lessons would help him carry on. To the world, Usain Bolt was untouchable, a symbol of joy, confidence, and dominance. But behind the bravado and gold medals was a son who had just lost his greatest source of strength. Usain Bolt wasn't just Usain's father. He was his foundation, his quiet motivator, and the man who had been with him through every step of the journey. In the wake of Wellesley's passing, Usain's public image remained composed. But privately, those close to him saw the cracks. The loss left a void no victory could ever fill. For a man who had sprinted past pain and pressure his entire life, this grief was different. It wasn't something he could outrun. In interviews following his father's death, Usain opened up about the emotional toll. "Losing my father felt like losing a part of myself," he confessed. "He was always the one I turned to when I was tired, frustrated, or unsure. Now that voice is gone." The emotional weight didn't just hit Usain, it rippled through the entire Bolt family. His siblings spoke of the lessons Wellesley left behind: integrity, humility, and unconditional love. The house felt emptier, not just in presence, but in spirit. Yet, through the grief, a powerful sense of gratitude emerged. Usain didn't hide from the pain. Instead, he chose to honor it. He began speaking more openly about mental health, about the reality of mourning someone so deeply woven into your identity. Fans who had always seen him as invincible now saw the human behind the hero, a son learning how to live without his guide. Through the pain, Usain found clarity, that his father's greatest gift wasn't in what he gave during life, but in what he left behind. And that legacy, as we'll explore next, is more powerful than any medal or record Usain ever earned. In the story of Usain Bolt, the records, the medals, the global stardom, it's easy to focus only on the man who sprinted into history. But behind every finish line, there was Wellesley Bolt, a father, a guide, a silent force whose love and sacrifices made every victory possible. Wellesley never stood in the spotlight, but his fingerprints are on every success his son achieved. Through hard work, quiet strength, and unwavering belief, he built the foundation for one of the greatest athletes the world has ever known. And when the cameras turned off and the world stopped watching, he was still there, offering guidance, wisdom, and love without asking for anything in return. Usain's story is unforgettable, but now so is Wellesley's. Because greatness doesn't start with a race. It starts with values passed down in quiet conversations, in early morning sacrifices, in lessons only a father can teach. And as long as Usain keeps running, Wellesley Bolt's legacy keeps living.